What's up, man?
Nothing much. Want to do this review on a fan-made film called Halloween Stalks II.
And damn, is it a fan-made film? Holy shit,
Yeah,
dude.
it's good. A couple years ago, I saw Halloween Stalks 1. Well, it was just Halloween Stalks. And I was like, wow, brought it back to basics. Whoever was the actor for the shape was really good. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty impressive. And I was like, I feel like that's a proper sequel, unlike what we've gotten the past few years. And then just on a whim, I knew this was coming out. I think it came back out in March. And never got around to seeing it. And I checked it out, what was it, like last Thursday? And I was like, doing a review, got to do a
Yeah, no
review.
shit.
That was when I started sending this thing to everyone. Like,
Yeah.
man, like
Well,
it's,
you sent originally the first one to me last year. I think it was like actually it was probably around this time, maybe earlier in the beginning of the year time. And you're like, dude, you gotta check this out, dude. He's like, it's a short fan-made film, and just tell me what you think. And I remember watching it, being like, damn, dude, that was a fan-made film. I was like, that like felt real.
yeah,
Like they did such a good job on the production and everything.
yeah,
And and then when you're like, dude, they released a second one, I was like, oh shit, dude. And
yeah,
when you're like, I want to do a review on it, I'm like, I'm down because the first one was sweet, this one was sweet, and if I'm gonna post it up in the corner right here, their page. That way you guys can click on it and then go ahead and subscribe to these people because their stuff is awesome.
yeah.
Seriously, like it's such. I actually put it in my notes that Hollywood needs to seriously look at this and be like, "Oh, this is what we need to do,"
Right.
because this the shit they're putting out is garbage compared to this. This is like awesome.
I know. I know. And it's not, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but he like honors the old movies without like banging the nostalgia in your head like the past couple
Hmm.
movies have done. And it was good, dude. It was just like a quick summary, was it? That was on IMDb. I pulled off from there. It's when a ghostly figure shows up at their door late at night on Halloween, a mother and her young son are thrown in a cruel game of cat and mouse. Their fight for survival unveils a terrifying truth: the boogeyman is real. And
Yes.
I didn't catch it. I regret not going back and watching it again. But you hear a scream happen from across the street at the beginning. And by the way,
Yeah, I did hear that.
yeah, real quick, everyone, um, this is gonna be spoiler heavy. Period. Um,
True.
Go
True.
watch it first. Watch it first, and then come back and if you want to hear us talk about it, let's talk about it. But when the dad goes and checks it out and he yells, he says a name, and I was like, man, was that the name of the people from the first Halloween Stalks, or was it something else? And I can't remember what it was. I mean,
I
either
thought he was
way,
saying mom.
no, it was the dad. Hey, everything all right? Is that you? As Michael's approaching him, you
Yeah.
know.
Hmm.
But yeah, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it's a fan made film. Director, we should get through the director and cast too. Dominic, I'm sorry, I might just absolutely brutalize your name. But I'm terrible at names. Uh, Dominic, man, Dominic. I'm just gonna say Dominic. I'm sorry. But Catherine plays Ellen, who's the heroine in this. Misha plays Nicholas, her son. Francis plays Ellen's mother, Mrs. Riley. And Samuel plays the shape. Dude, he is absolutely perfect as the shape. I thought he brought back all the original movements from
That's
Halloween
a hundred
1.
percent too.
Like
Absolutely.
turning the corner and everything. It was like, ooh, like, dude, he brought like creepiness back to it.
Hmm. And he almost has like the same build.
Yeah, he
Like in the
does.
first movie, it was like that slim, just like you said, shape. And you seriously feel like this is just a continuation of the first film
It could be. It could be. It
because
could
it
just
looks
be.
so identical.
Yeah, it was pretty cool too because it does go off of that because the mask that they use, it's really quick. It's real quick, but he turns and you see the needle, sewing needle
Oh,
hole
I
in the
did not
neck.
catch that one.
It's very quick. Yeah, but so
No way.
yeah, so like it starts out, you know, the mom, Ellen, is putting Nicholas to bed and they have the whole boogeyman talk, which we've all had with their moms going to bed. And hear that scream. And, she's like, oh, dad will go check it out. It's okay. And, dude, homeboy looks out the window and Michael just takes care of the dad. Just boom. And one of the creepiest moments, I'll say, in all of Halloween, when the kid screams and Michael's head just jerks at him real quick. Boom.
Yeah.
I was like,
Boosh.
ooh, no.
Same thing. I was like, oh, dude, he's done. He's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I was like, dude, that would ruin me forever. Like,
No shit.
forever, I would be done. Then, of course, the mom comes back. And then the mom, looks out. Nothing's there, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then, she leaves and the kid looks back. And there's Michael right there. Kind of gave me like an Easter egg vibe to the original Halloween when he's looking up from the laundry,
Yep.
Yeah, when Lori had like 92 sheets hanging
Yeah, I
from
know,
her.
right?
Who has
No
that
one
many?
ever caught that.
Yeah,
What the hell are you doing?
I know.
The laundry for the block?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I thought the director did a really good job at framing everything to where Michael could be there, or you're expecting Michael to be there, and
Yeah.
he's not, you know. And the other Easter egg that was super cool when she's out looking around, looking for her husband, and right before she goes, she passes the car, and then Michael shows up in the rearview
Yeah.
mirror. That was Halloween 2. Remember that? That
Oh
happened
yeah.
in the hospital. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this guy's nailing it right now.
But there were so many like throwbacks to the originals.
Yeah,
Like when oh well, you already said the spoiler, so it don't matter.
yeah.
When he fell out of the tree house and he's laying on the
The
ground
way
and
he
it shows
fell.
like the above view
Yeah,
of it, I was like, well, that's when he fell out of the house.
yeah,
Like there's so many of these little things. You're like, yes, dude,
yeah,
yes, they're doing it, man. They're doing it.
yeah, yeah.
They're
Dude,
really doing it.
one part that scared the shit out of me. That it was a part they've never really had this before, but you know, she's going through the house looking through, and then all of a sudden Michael is behind her, and then she turns around and gets startled, but it's not Michael,
Oh,
it's
it's the
the
sun.
kid, it's the son. Yeah,
What was your first thought on that?
I was just like, whoa, okay, and then
I thought he had the clown suit on.
oh, that'd have been
Because the
wild.
pajamas,
Yeah,
because they had those like he had spots on his pajamas,
yeah.
and I thought he had the clown suit on. I was like, whoa,
Oh, that'd have
and then
been
I was like,
bad.
never mind, it's the pajamas.
Yeah,
But I was like, it really, that instant, I was like, damn.
yeah,
And then I kind of went, I got my
right.
footing. I was like, okay, never mind, we're good.
And then it settles, and the way Michael just enters the room, just open, comes right through the door like nothing, and he's between the child or Nicholas and Ellen. I was like,
Hmm.
whoa.
Yes,
I was,
said the same thing. I was like, holy shit. Like
yeah,
I was trying to picture like what would I do in this situation?
right, right. And then all of a sudden, of course she hey, me, and he goes after her, and one of the greatest uh um what's the word I'm looking for, cameos happens in that room when she's hiding behind the chair.
Oh
She
my god,
turns on
yes.
the TV and it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I was like,
Is that
that's
Jason Lives, I think it was?
yeah. I was
I
like,
was
that's
like,
brilliant.
oh, you sit there watching it. And
Yeah.
then, what'd they say?
Any
Oh,
weirdo
what's the
with the
quote? And he,
mask probably
yeah, and he
isn't a good person or
tips his
something like
head.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that is so cool, dude.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that one. That was perfect.
Yeah. And then she was able to sneak out, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of hint at, okay, she unlocks the door and leaves, and gets to her mom's house, Mrs. Riley's, who when immediately I thought of when she got in the door in the house, Mrs. Riley's in the pink robe,
Mm.
And it reminded me of Mrs. Elder from Halloween 2. You want
Yeah.
mustard on your sandwich? you know? And I was like, that could be an Easter egg. I might be reaching right there. But uh, it's kind of weird. Like, Mrs. Elder has been such a Halloween. People held on to that character for whatever reason. She, like in Halloween 2018, they referenced her,
Mm.
and with the eating the sandwich at the table, and Michael just pulls a
Oh
hammer
yeah,
out on
yeah.
her. But anyway, so like she's like sitting there and she's like, "Where's Nicholas?" And Mrs. Riley has no idea what's even being talked about. Then you come to the realization like she had to unlock the chain before she left.
Yeah. So he
Dude,
never
I
left.
had
It's like,
yeah,
oh
like a
shit.
sick feeling in my stomach. I was like, "Fuck!"
I did
I was
too.
like, "He's still in there," and.
It's funny that we didn't realize it too. As I was like, get out, get out. I was like, oh shit, it's
I
locked.
never.
Get out, get out, get out. You didn't think about it like he was
Yeah,
supposed to left. You know, I thought he was still in
that's
the
what I thought.
house. That's when I
Yeah,
was like, shit. That's like he ran upstairs under his
yeah,
bed or something,
not
man.
good. So like, yeah, so yeah, she's got to go back now. She grabs the poker, the fireplace poker, and
Mm-hmm.
heads back in, and she ends up upstairs, and she finds her husband, who's dead in Nicholas's bed.
Yeah.
And dude, she's upstairs, and he's down there, and she just sees him like,
Oh,
I'm
that was a creepy
screwed.
spot
Yeah,
part too.
and dude, she gets in the closet, and I love how they did this. Because it was right away, and I know all Halloween fans saw it. Was when she closes the closet slowly, and the coat hanger swinging, a little clothes hanger,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it was like a video game.
Throwback.
I was like, oh, like it's an item you can grab, and
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting there, and I'm like, is he really gonna make her do that? Like, is he really gonna do it? And you know, one thing that they brought back was Michael breathing. Oh
I heard
man,
it too.
what a
Yes.
creepy sound to like listen to as he's like scouring through that room. And little do you know, she grabs the damn thing. And I was kind of like, I was worried because in Halloween 1, when she grabs that coat hanger, I know it was a last resort. But dude, I was sitting there, I was like, that was a 1 in a million shot just to get it in Michael's eye. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
and yeah,
And I
Lori
was
did
sitting there, I'm
too.
like,
No.
they're gonna do that
Oh, there
again,
it is.
and Michael whips open that door, and you're just like, oh man, and she pokes him, and he's just like, the fuck, what are you doing? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Now that was the only issue I had with this whole entire thing is how he just grabbed her and just chucked her on the
yeah,
ground.
that yeah,
I
it
was
was like
like,
a
oh,
mercy
okay.
rule.
But that was the only thing I like
Yeah,
negative towards this whole
yeah,
video was. I was thinking like what she should have did was as soon as he opened it, she should have just like kicked like off the back of the
yeah,
closet and kicked him just
yeah,
boom, just enough to where he could throw him backwards and she could take
yeah,
off running or something. But I was like, do it, and I was like, oh, you just
yeah,
gotta throw it on the ground. Okay,
yeah.
get up.
Well, she does, dude. She gets it out, and she ends up back at the treehouse, and
Mm-hmm.
this was one of the craziest moments I thought was like fantastic because it just was just like all of us, everything's quiet, calm. Yeah,
Oh, when you shit
that
yourself?
part. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Jesus
She's,
Christ.
Mom, look, what? And dude, he is just
He's
peeking
just
in.
sitting there.
Yeah,
Shh. I was like,
yeah. I know that's what I did. I was sitting there
it's like,
like,
oh
oh,
my
my
god,
balls fell out.
dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
That was
yeah, that
so
it was just so
wild.
like sudden. Like he did like a great job calming everything down. Like, okay, we're gonna take a breather, bam,
Mm-hmm.
and there.
Tension's drawn
That's
less
what
and
he.
less, and then
That's what
time to go
he
back
brought
up.
back with this was the tension that the first what made the first
Mm-hmm.
Halloween so good. It was the tension, and it was just like, okay, what are they gonna do now? Is mom gonna, mom's gonna freak like you have no choice but to freak out. She utilizes the fireplace poker and gets his eye. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so then he does that fall. You know, he falls back and lands pretty much the way he did in the first movie. And then, man, these stress-inducing moments where they're like, okay, we have to. There's one way out, and it's going by him. And you know, she goes first. Yeah, she goes first, and
She
then
goes
she
first,
helps
yeah.
Nicholas down, and you know, go, take off. And then one of the moments that you know, you just your whole like hope is gone, you know, and
Yeah.
Ellen ends up with a the knife through her, and you're just like, dude, it sucked. Like I was like,
Yeah, and then she didn't even like move too. So it was like she was walking and she just stared. I
yeah,
was like, "What are you doing?" And then it slowly panned down and you see the knife. I was like,
yeah, and then he
"Oh, dude,
rises right behind,
damn."
and you know that was
Yeah,
another Easter egg how he
that
sat
was
up.
sweet.
You know, he sat up like in the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and I could have almost gone without knowing he was conscious again. You know what I mean? Like I would have just gone like
Yeah.
just the knife. You know, she stops. You know, you don't even know if he's up or not, and then that happens, and yeah, then it's like, dude, what happens now? And dude, the boy just stands there in complete fear. And another Easter egg was during one of the worst Halloweens ever, probably the worst Halloween ever, when Michael hands over the knife to the psych patient
Mm-hmm.
to frame him. I'm standing with that. Everyone says, "Oh, he gave him a souvenir." Like, no, it was to frame him. Yeah, I
A
know.
souvenir.
I was like,
Jesus
no, it was
Christ,
to
man.
frame him, get the heat off of Michael. But yeah, hands him the knife, and the boy just stands there like Michael did in the first one. You know, and the cops are approaching, and you know, what are they gonna think? Are they gonna think Michael's the killer?
Yeah, I like it how you could hear him in the distance and he's kind of like looking and then
Gone.
just
Just
slowly walks away. It's like,
yeah,
damn. And I love the fact that the cops come walking up and there he is, the
yep,
little kid with the knife. Is just like
yep,
Michael was in the first one when, he got picked up. It was just standing there. I was like,
yeah,
that is so cool.
yep.
Like, it's
It
like,
was a nice little
yes.
pass off, man. You know, I didn't even
Hmm.
mention earlier another Easter egg was Ellen when you know, she says run, and she says do as I say, and that's Lori. That's Lori says it all the time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, I just thought this one absolutely nailed it. It brought us everything that we were, at least for me, I was hoping for in the trilogy that we had just gotten, and it just fell apart.
Hmm.
I felt like Michael was absolutely mishandled. You know, I don't know if it's just what he was going for, but Halloween, the original Halloween, they did not necessarily go for gore. They went for suspense, they went for thrill, and that's what he
No.
did. You know, the killings a lot, you know, were off screen, not off screen, but from a distance, and you know, you just let your imagination run wild for a second, like ooh, like, but wasn't focused on the gore, but the suspense. There were so many you know, yeah,
Lots of
and
suspense. Yeah.
that's what's
I
missing
enjoyed
in a
that.
lot of horror movies nowadays, and I would much rather have like
Well, a lot of horror movies too nowadays rely on jump scares. Like that's all they care about
yeah,
is like the jump scare. And it works, but if you build that
yes,
suspense first, and then when the jump scare happens, you're like, oh, and then you really, damn, dude, like the
mm-hmm,
treehouse part. You're like sitting there. I was thinking like they're gonna like have like an angle. It's gonna show them, and outside you can see Michael walking up to the
right,
treehouse. That's what I was
right,
imagining. Not the look, and
yeah,
he's just standing there.
yeah,
Like, oh
yeah.
fuck, like,
I know,
that's it.
I
You're
know,
done. But that built so much suspense right there, and then you gave you that jump scare, and
yeah,
I did. I was like, oh, like, because I didn't expect it. I would have thought you would have heard him coming up the
right.
ladder,
But
or something.
that's
But
what the Michael is that I
oh, it was
love
such a
is
good
the
one.
stealthy like a shark. Yeah. Oh, I will say this. he shot something that was so awesome, and it was in the basement. You know, in the dark, we usually see Michael appear. Dude, when he
Oh, when he
fades out,
fades.
I was like, that was
Yes.
incredible.
Yes. I thought the
We've
same thing. I
never
was like,
seen
that
it
was
before.
cool.
It's always Michael coming
That
out of
was
the
cool.
shadows, but when he like regressed back
Uh,
into it, I was like, that is terrifying. Because now he's out of sight. You don't know where he is. Because he does, dude. He pops up anywhere. And not knowing, not having eyes on him, it it was like that's terrifying to me. And it
mhm.
really that's I thought in Halloween 2 that was one of the more terrifying things when Lori gets out and she's in the parking lot and you don't know where
Mhm.
Michael is. Is he roaming in the halls? Like where's he at? And then Jimmy blows the horn and here came Michael, boom, in that red light. That's terrifying. Like, dude, he just regressed. He didn't come through the window after her. He was just like, all right,
Mhm.
I'll go this way. Yeah,
That was sweet. It
I thought
was
that
sweet.
was,
And they faded it so good. I'm not sure what they did, but you could
yeah,
not see that mask. And
yeah.
it's like,
I
damn,
thought the
that was
mask
sweet.
was great. Um, but yeah,
Mhm.
it's funny you mentioned that through the whole thing. I was like, man, this is like perfect. When you mentioned he threw her down, I thought that too. I was like, wow, that's such an odd move from Michael. That's like it's an odd move, but
Mhm.
I mean, dude, if that's the only thing to where I'm like, hmm,
That's what I said. I was like, I had one little issue, and it wasn't even
oh
that big of a
yeah,
deal, you
yeah,
know.
but
I want to bring up the lighting and sound. Remember we talked about
yeah,
this on a past episode on how
mm-hmm,
important it is. It was dark in areas. You had those areas around the house or outside. It was dark. The music was
mm-hmm,
perfect. Like it really brought me
yeah,
back to that first one. And I have to commend them on all the music and lighting
yeah,
because that was so good, man.
yeah.
That was
He did
so
a
good.
great job. You bring up an awesome point. The lighting, like for example, when she makes it upstairs, when she goes back into the house and she makes it upstairs, and she sees the bed, and she's coming up to it. If you noticed, when it's facing her, you see the hallway. The hallway's pitch black, and I kept looking there.
Mm.
I'm like, all right, it's
That's what I
Michael.
was doing.
Is
Yes, I
Michael
was doing the
coming?
same
Is Michael
exact thing.
coming? He
I kept
framed it
thinking same
perfectly
thing.
to where
Yes.
like there's an opportunity in so many of these when she's like investigating or getting through to where like Michael can come here right now, and you
And that's
yes,
building
and
suspense
then
now.
and then she
That was
screams, and
awesome.
I'm like, man, he's gonna be upstairs, and he's not. It was like, okay, well, where is he? And then finally,
I thought the same thing. Right when she screamed, I thought he
yeah,
was going to be right behind her.
yeah,
I was like, this is it. And then like,
yeah, yeah.
no.
It kept you on your toes.
It did. And it's only 24 minutes long. And you're seriously like, this needs to be a full movie. Like, I want to see more. I want to see like the build up from the beginning, more of the end. Like,
Yeah,
I want to see
that's
more of it.
it
God damn, they did
definitely
such a good job.
made me wanting more, and I really enjoyed kind of like the first Halloween. What they did, I don't know how they do it, but anytime I see Michael Myers' eyes, drives me nuts. Through the mask, I hate it. I think it's one of the worst things
Mm.
they could do. But this one, like the first one, you see the flesh. Like
Just,
okay,
yeah.
there's a person
Yeah.
behind there, but you don't see the white of the eyes or anything, but just under the eye or just around it, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he pulled it off in this one. I was like, wow, he's nailing this. Like, because dude, it drives me nuts. Every time you see the whites of Michael's eyes, I just think it takes away so much.
Yeah, that fear is kind of like,
Yeah,
oh, it's just a person. You don't. It's not you're thinking of it as. And then there was a part where he kind of like turned real quick, and you just seen like the
yeah,
underside of his eyes,
yeah.
and that
I,
was it. And I thought kind of the
I
same thing. I
like
was
it.
like, oh,
Yeah,
that's good. Okay. But no, it was awesome.
yeah.
It was
The
absolutely
mannerisms
awesome.
of the shape, Samuel, absolutely, dude. This guy, he just nails it. Absolutely nails it. It is no disrespect to anyone else that's played the shape, but He just had that creepy
Mm-hmm.
movements. Dick Warlock, I thought like made him too robotic and walking like super slow. Like this, I would probably say the mannerisms that Sam does for Michael is, I would
Mm-hmm.
go on record to say probably the best to date as the original.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate that so much too. You know, he's more like a smart. You know, you portrayed Michael as like a smart killer rather than like brutal, like we
Yeah,
were talking about. You know, and they definitely 100% brought it back to the '78 film, and it
yeah.
was a nice throwback. It was it
I
was it
like
was
how
really, it
at one
was so
point he
cool.
kept cutting her off. Like she's trying to get out of the house and he just kept
Oh
cutting her
yeah,
off. Like, nope, nope.
yeah, going around
Yeah, dude. Even
the
the
other side.
turns
Yeah.
or the way he stood at the top of the stairs, like, dude, yeah, absolutely nailed it. I hope this guy makes more. Um,
Oh, he's got to.
yeah,
Please,
Dominic,
please, please
make
make more.
more. This
That's
is
all we
what
got now.
we've been.
You know, this this actually, I'm gonna tag Miramar in this, and
Miramax.
or Miramar.
Yeah,
What am I doing, Miramar? What the hell? Because you know, obviously they got all the
yeah,
rights and shit
dude.
for their whatever they're gonna be doing. Hey, check out this dude. Okay, check out these
Yeah,
guys. This is awesome. This is what people
yeah.
want.
This
We want
like
this.
it's like seriously, like come on, Hollywood. Like there's no. These guys have no business making something so much better than the last three movies you put out. It's probably, I wouldn't even
Oh
say last
shit.
three. I'd say last a lot. You know, past the zombie movies. You know, into I. You know, and of course it's you know they're inspired by, but man, nailed it. Very happy. If I had a rating
Mm-hmm.
scale, I'd give this one an
Oh,
A for sure.
oh, for sure. Super well made, and it honors the original.
Definitely, definitely.
I love it.
Well, all right. Well, Dominic, you heard it from us,
Absolutely
man.
love
Keep
it.
going, please keep going. It's
Yes. And like I said earlier to everybody who hasn't seen this, if you haven't seen it and you just heard this, well,
yeah.
that's oh
We
well.
warned you. We
You know
warned
what
you.
happens now. But uh, seriously, subscribe to these guys. Like I said, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Halloween Stalks is their page, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
worth it.
Even
It is worth it. I love the music
oh
too.
yeah,
Music
even the
sounds so
first
cool.
one. If you guys just want to
Yeah.
go back and see the first one, is just as good.
Hmm.
Very well put together. Brings you right back to what Halloween is supposed to be, and it's
Hmm.
taken many movies, and it took a fan made film. You know, you know.
No
I've
shit.
seen a lot of Halloween fan made films, and some are
Yeah, I've
good,
watched a lot of
some are really
fan
bad.
made shit.
Um, but some are good. But this one, I just feel like it just kick it up a notch. Like it really
Hmm. Oh,
really
it
brought
did.
it
It
up. So
definitely did.
yeah.
Definitely worth a
So hope you
watch.
guys enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. We are on all podcast platforms: Facebook, X, Instagram. Did I miss one?
Facebook, X,
I think we
Instagram.
all and
I think that's
YouTube.
it.
YouTube. Of course.
Oh,
That's where
yeah,
you're
yeah.
at now.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Till next time, my friends.
See you later.